Hey y'all, it's Ayanna. Welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on all my socials at _ringbells on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Y'all, I know it's been a few days and my bad. Part 2 is coming, but as promised, I did tell you guys that we were going to start back up with the Tell All Tuesdays. Those of you that don't know, Tell All Tuesdays is when you guys email me your stories and then I read them on my channel. Now, this is going to be a little different because I think I'm going to actually start making this a series, and I'm going to make it a playlist on my channel so that way it's easier to follow. So I don't know, like I said, I don't know what I'm really going to name it yet, but just consider this video episode 1, right? So I went through you guys' emails, and I appreciate you guys, the ones of you that have been emailing me over the last few months since we stopped doing this Hello Tuesdays. Now, I chose 2 stories that, I like the subject line, so I was like, you know what? Why not? Now, guys, I did not read these stories prior to me recording them. I just transferred them over to make sure I could bring them up on my iPad, and that's about it. So, enough rambling. We're going to jump right into today's story times. All right, so Gina writes, "Hey girl, I love your channel and hashtag road to 2K. Thank you, girl. I don't know when you'll start reading stories again, but I have a crazy one for you. I like how you give background, so I'll try my best so that it makes sense. This story took place about a year ago, and I'm still mad about it, so why not? Okay, I have a friend, and we'll name her Pam, 29. Oh, that's cute, Gina Pam. Pam and I have been friends since we were like 10 years old, grew up together, and have always been best friends. We went to the same middle school, high school, and even went to the same community college. We were literally attached at the hip, like Jada and Des. Jada been acting a little weird for her friends, y'all. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it matters, but we're from Jersey. And she literally wrote it out, y'all, like that. Jersey. Not too far from Central Jersey, Bridgewater area. Oh, girl, you was right in my backyard. Hold up. Now, about 2 years ago, I quit my job and I started doing waxes and lashes full-time while Pam works full-time at a doctor's office. We were still close, but for obvious reasons, we weren't hanging out as much because I started working for myself and I had a lot of planning and organizing that had to get done. Fair enough. So at first, Pam was very supportive, posting my business page, commenting, and was sending me new clients. But the thing is, Pam wanted to go out all the time. I mean, brunch, clubs, lounges, trips, being out and staying out till like 4, 5 a.m. some days. Like, she ain't have to work at 7 a.m. most of those days. Yeah, Pam, yeah, she's tripping. We are not young anymore. And you said she's how old? How old is Pam? 29. Pam is too old for that. But if she can hang, I get it. I had to start telling her no because it wasn't sustainable for me. Like, I get we're not old ladies, but we are a lot older than we were at 19 and 22. And I just couldn't hang anymore. Yeah, more power to her. When I first started out, there were a lot of trials and tribulations with starting a new journey, and I felt like she should have understood that more than anyone else. I didn't have a huge support system, mainly due to my having older parents and distant siblings. My parents could not understand why I went to school for criminal science just to pursue an entirely different path. Because we got to chase our dreams, not everyone wants to just go the academic route, I guess. To this day, they still don't support me, but it is what it is. Now back to Pam. She was working as a receptionist or some type of intake specialist, but she literally hated her job and would always complain to me about how she wanted to do hair. And y'all, she's really good at it. Anytime we were growing up, prom, events, parties, whatever she did, both of our hairs. So I always tried to tell her to follow her dreams, but she never took my advice. I still always let her know that I was in her corner though, as a friend should. So now to a year ago, a new girl started at her job, Winter, like from BGC. With Bad Girls Club, if y'all know, if y'all watch Bad Girls Club and y'all remember who Winter is, yeah. And I swear it was like Pam completely forgot who I was. Over those 2 years, we would still hang out, just not in the capacity that she wanted. So I guess Winter became that for her. I forgot to mention, I got my own apartment about 6 months after I started doing lashes full time, and I looked at it as a major accomplishment. And it is, congrats. Pam knew I was applying, and when I told her I was approved, it was a very dry congrats. Oh, Pam's a hater. I don't know, y'all. I told y'all and before that I'm gonna get a red flag. So when I'm reading y'all stories, and as soon as I hear a red flag, I'm gonna start waving it because that's your best friend. It made me feel weird, but just chalked it up to her being in a bad mood or whatever. I had wanted to go out and celebrate, but she said she wasn't up for going out, and I was like, okay, cool. I had a self-care day instead and moved forward. What was weird though, she went out with Winter that same night. I tried to act like it didn't bother me, but it did. I felt like she was being funny and sort of trying to replace me. I don't know if she's trying to replace you necessarily, or she's trying to have like more of like a get back because you didn't want to go out with her and now you wanted to go out. So now she's like, well, I'm not going out. Even though I feel like you getting a new apartment is definitely a big accomplishment and you should be able to celebrate that with your friend, especially like you said, she already knew everything that you were going through with your family and how hard you worked to get to that point. But let's keep going. So now that she was friends with Winter, I was happy she had someone to go out with and that matched her energy. Kind of had me off the hook and I didn't have to feel guilty for saying no or I can't anymore. But things started to get really weird. My birthday is in March and I had decided that all my hard work, I deserved to treat myself. So I told Pam we would take a trip to Miami, Atlanta, Vegas, something. And she was excited, but then goes, oh, can Winter come? No, your friend can't come. No, your friend can't come. That's not my friend. Now, I hadn't even met Winter at this point, and it's been about 7 months. And maybe because I didn't have the interest to meet her, but either way, it was my birthday, and I didn't want to be around someone I didn't know. As you should. Like, what? So I told Pam I'd rather it just be us, and I had other friends, but none I was super close to. It was always just me and Pam. You would have thought I killed her puppy the way she got so defensive and said if Winter can't come, then nah. Oh, I guess she was trying to replace you, girl. That's a little crazy. I don't know what to say. So I took myself to Miami and I just had a birthday weekend alone, shopped, laid out on the beach, took myself to dinner, met a few people, some men, even paid for my drinks while I was down there. But for some reason that upset Pam. How you gonna be upset because you thought that I wasn't supposed to go on my trip anymore because you decided that your friend couldn't come so you didn't want to go? Girl, one monkey don't stop no show, please. It upset Pam, but I think she thought she was going to control the narrative. But I learned a long time ago not to let anyone have that much control over your happiness. Okay, sis, right. She sent me a very dry text to say happy birthday, but I still didn't let it faze me. What is the issue? I'm really trying to figure it out. Red flag, red flag. By the time I got back from the trip, we didn't talk for like 2 weeks. I just went back to work like nothing happened. I didn't see what the issue was, so I didn't block her or stop watching her stories. I even still liked her posts, because what was the problem? That's what I'm trying to figure out. You moving how I would move. Like, what's the issue? You didn't want to go with me on my trip. I took myself on a trip. I came back home. I'm thinking we cool, and you're the one acting weird. I even still liked her post because what was the problem? So on a random night, I was finishing up with my last client for the day and I get a call from Pam. She is talking like nothing was wrong. So I did too. And we kind of just started talking again and it was the same as it was before. I feel like you should have said something to Pam because if it was making you feel a type of way, like I get it, like that's your friend, you're just going with the get along, but sometimes it's okay to check your friend, especially if it made you feel some type of way. And if your friend shoots your feelings down or tries to like make you feel like they're not important, then that's something you need to think twice about. Always brushing something under the rug is not the solution that people be wanting it to be or thinking that it is. Now to all the craziness. Pam's birthday is in June, and she hit me up saying she wanted to go to the city for a regular night out, get a section, dinner, the usual. She said that she invited Winter, and I was like, okay, like it's your birthday, you can invite whoever you want. So like 2 days before that Saturday we were going to go out, she asked me if we could take my car because hers was giving her problems and Winter didn't have a car at all. Something that I did not know. So as her best friend, I agreed, and I didn't plan to get that drunk anyway because I had an early appointment but still wanted to show up for my friend. I agreed and we were cool, planning and getting excited for her birthday weekend. Girl, I don't know. I feel like maybe that's the petty in me, y'all. If somebody don't even wish me happy birthday, I'm not wishing you happy birthday. So I wanted to go somewhere for my birthday. You basically told me no because your friend couldn't go. Then you stopped talking to me for 2 weeks because I went on this trip. And now you're hitting me up, 2 months later, 3 months later, to go somewhere for your birthday and use my car? Okay. That Saturday finally comes and Pam wanted me to pick her up and Winter from her crib. I'm sorry, y'all. That Saturday finally comes, and Pam wanted me to pick her and Winter up from her crib. Pam has her own place. So I get dressed in all black, some heels, and a small purse. Like I could barely fit anything in it besides some lip gloss and a bobby pin. I understand, girl. Sometimes you got to go for the aesthetic. But it matched my shoes. It matched my shoes, so I had to go with it. I pull up and I told Pam I was outside. She had me waiting like 15 minutes and I was okay. I was just scrolling socials. They finally come out and it's 7. We had dinner reservations at 8:30 and had to drive all the way to the city. They both looked cute and got in a car. Pam introduces me and Winter, and immediately Winter's energy was very off. Made me feel like some convos were had prior, but I brushed it off because I'm not trying to mess up Pam's birthday. I turned the music up and just hit the road. You know they was having conversations. Girl, when you invited that girl to go with you on your birthday trip, and she said no, if Winter can't come, I don't want to go. They was already talking about you then. When she decided that you was down there having fun, she was definitely showing Winter your stories and talking about you. When she decided that she wasn't talking to you for 2 weeks, she was talking to Winter about you for those 2 weeks. And then when she decided that she wanted to do something for her birthday, you know she reached out to Winter first to be like, oh, let me see if I can get Gina to borrow her car. And you seem like a nice girl, so she probably already knew that you were gonna say yes. That's just an observation. We pull up to this nice steakhouse and they had valet. So we get out and head into the restaurant, get seated, and of course they sat next to each other and I'm on the side alone. Looking over the menu, and I decided I was going to get steak, some lobster mac, and asparagus. My go-to too, girl. Well, who are you? I need to know. Is Gina your real name? With a simple drink to start, immediately Winter is like, oh girl, these prices are pricing. Y'all know I hate it. Y'all know I hate that. Stop going out. Stop going out if you don't got no money. I get that feeling in my stomach like, please let this girl have the money to pay for whatever she is getting. Right. Waiter comes and takes our orders, and I don't remember off the top of my head what they ordered, but it was all similar price to what I ordered. So we're trying to make small convo, and Winter brings up how much I charge for lashes, and I tell her. She was like, nope, I'm going to keep going to my girl because some of y'all be out here trying to rob people. Girl. Okay. And Pam like sniggled, and I felt like I was already being too nice. So I go, well, you know, my prices aren't for everybody. So the girls that get it, and the ones who don't. I can't even snap, y'all. But yes, kudos to you. Because like I said, I feel like you seem like a nice person, but don't just let them walk all over you, girl. Like, I would have left their ashes stranded in the city, please. And I'm assuming y'all went to New York, so yeah. The laughing stopped. It was kind of awkward after that, but I was trying to loosen up because we had a whole club to go to after. We get through the dinner. I ordered another meal to go so I could have my lunch for the next day. So I know I was going to be busy, since I knew I was going to be busy. Of course, this pissed both of them off, and Pam goes, well, if you got it like that, then you can cover the bill for all of us. Why would I do that? I ordered my food, I had my food, and now I know I'm going to have appointments back to back tomorrow, so I'm getting a meal for tomorrow, so I don't even have to worry about what I'm going to eat. What do that got to do with you? Please. And Winter was like, right. I was like, yeah, that won't be happening. Neither one of them was giving me gas, and I was the one paying for her section at the club anyway. Girl. So the waiter comes back with the bill, and he said we could only split it in twos, not more than that. And I instructed him to put my bill on one and to combine theirs since I know I had ordered more food to go. Right. Pam asked why we didn't all get it on one tab, and I was like, no, it's better this way. They get their bill, and you can tell Winter looked like a ghost in the middle of the winter. She saw that price and her heart sank. And she was like, nah, that's way too high and something seems wrong. So I'm scrolling on my phone because I already had my card on the table on top of my bill waiting on the waiter to come back to pick it up. They are literally breaking each other. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all, because like I said, a little bit of typos, and I didn't read this before. They're literally breaking each thing down with calculators and all that for a cool 5 minutes. Until Pam texts me from across the table like, can you send me $100 because Winter doesn't have enough? Please, it's my birthday. I looked up at her and said, no, I don't have it. Gina, I like you. I really need to know who you are, girl. I need to know who you are. Y'all got to figure it out. So the waiter finally comes back and takes my check while they are still figuring it out. Pam asked me, why can't I just cover the difference since I know they don't have it? And I asked, why would she pick a place that she knew neither of them could afford? Right. Because they thought and assumed that you were going to pay for it, girl. Winter goes, I'm going to just ask my man. I don't got time for a selfish B word. That's crazy. I would have got up and left. I would have got up and left. I was like, yeah, do what you got to do. Winter came back. The waiter came back. I signed and said, I'll be waiting in the front. I got up, grabbed my food, and headed toward the front. I waited on one of the chairs for people waiting for a table. After like 10 minutes, they finally walk up, both looking angry. I was so tempted to just end the night and go home. You should have. You should have. You should have. I wanted to be nice, so I was like, nah, and I already paid for the section. We walk out together and wait for the valet to bring my car around. We get in and it's completely silent. I put the club in the GPS and it was only 10 minutes away from the restaurant. Thank God. So this time we have to look for parking and finally find one like a block down, but I was good walking in hills. I asked them if the spot was okay and they both say yeah. We get out and start walking. Not even 30 steps from the car and Winter is complaining about how her feet hurt and was hurting. And Pam's like, right, like why we parked so far away? Didn't I just ask y'all if this was okay and y'all say yeah? I'm confused. And I snapped, like I asked both of y'all and y'all both agreed. Also, neither one of y'all was helping me even find a spot, so oh well. They stopped talking and we walk up. Get in and head to the section. The package I had got was about $350, one bottle of Patron, and a hookah. It was just the three of us, so I felt like one bottle would be cool since I wasn't drinking like that anyway. We sit down and Winter goes, oh, it's only one bottle? And here goes Pam co-signing again, talking about right. Like, I can't put this pitiful single bottle on my story. Pitiful single bottle? Where's your money? Call the girl over here and tell her that you want another bottle and you pay for it. Says the people that didn't even have enough money to cover their dinner. And now the rest of everything here is already covered and y'all still complaining? But you're selfish? Okay. I was irritated at this point. I shut down. I didn't want to dance. I didn't want to talk. I honestly just wanted to leave and leave them there. You should have. Pam was acting like a completely new person. So they were taking shots and getting sloppy drunk. I was just on my phone and sipping. At some point, Winter said she had to pee and got up to go to the bathroom. Pam comes to sit next to me and asks why I was trying to ruin her birthday. And she regretted asking me to come. Well, girl, you wouldn't be sitting in this club if I didn't come because who's going to pay for it? Okay. So I said, if that's how you feel, once we get back home, we can be done since she got a new best friend anyway. She tried to go off, but she was too lit to even know what she was talking about. Winter came back and they continued on. After like 2 hours, I was over it. At this point, it was like 1 a.m. and they were pretty much done the bottle. I let them both know I was ready to go, and if they weren't, then they can get an Uber back. Winter goes, wow, you know we don't got the money, so you trying to ruin her birthday? I was like, no, y'all knowing y'all ain't have no money and wanted to go out is what is ruining her birthday. Right. Pam got mad and said we could just leave now. So I got up and we headed out. They both behind me, barely able to walk, slurring their words, and Winter stopped to take off her heels and walk barefoot on the NYC concrete. Well, I can't say nothing, y'all. When I was a little too lit, I've definitely taken my heels off and just winged it. Because, listen, I'd rather do that than be drunk, stumbling in my heels, and be done broke ankle. As soon as we got to my car, I get in, I started up. When Pam started throwing up on the sidewalk, and I could tell Winter could barely handle herself, so I got back up to go help Pam. Winter started walking to my car, and I thought she was getting in the back seat. This girl got in my driver's seat. Okay, so let me make this make sense. So y'all were walking up, you were in front. You go, you open the door, you turn the car on, you see Pam throwing up, so you go back over there to help her while she's throwing up. And then when you look up, Winter is sitting in your driver's seat. I think I'm trying to set the scene for y'all because I know that might sound a little confusing. As I'm trying to make sure Pam was cool and get her in the car, Winter is blasting music with my door hanging open. I hear her, oh, this is nice. How much you pay for this? Winter's a character. I don't know what to say. I yell at her to get out my car and get in the back. She started saying how I was a B word. And once Pam is in the back seat, I put her in her seatbelt and started walking toward the driver's seat. I grabbed the door and told her to get out. She is low-key fighting me from getting pulled out the car. Girl, she switched the gear from park into drive and hit the gas. And hit the car in front of us. I would have beat her up. What? Then she switched the reverse and hit the car behind us too. So the door is open and the car is just jerking back and forth, hitting the two cars. But okay. I literally had to jump in the car and put it into park and took the keys out. I pulled her up by her hair and grabbed her out of my car and threw her on the ground. As you should, as you should. I'm not proud, but I whooped her ass right then and there. Pam was in the back seat, still passed out, probably didn't even know what was going on. I go to assess the damage and my light was cracked and the car's back bumper was dented. The back of my car was pushed in, but theirs was a little fine. I just wanted to leave, so I left my number and name on a sticky note, and I had put it on their windshield because I had no idea who the cars belonged to. Winter finally got up and was like, can we just go home? And I was like, no, B-word, you're not going anywhere with me. You've been on BS the whole night. Figure it out. Yes, girl, I pulled out and took off and left her right there. I didn't care, and if I'm judged, I don't care either. I'm not judging you. You should have never even let it get to that point. The first time she would have gotten my car and gave you weird energy, I would have ended the night right there. By the time y'all got to the restaurant and she called you selfish, I would have ended it right there. When Ye was in the club treating you like crap and you not even having a good time after you just spent all of your money, I would have left them right there. So it got to the point where she gets in your car, hits the car in front of you, cracks your light, dents their bumper, and then dented your back bumper, but the other car thankfully was fine. That's crazy.
Whoa! Man. That's why you got bumpers.
To the point where you had to drag her by her hair, throw her on the ground, and whoop her ass. It should have never even got to that point, but I live for the drama. So let's get back to it. Like 20 minutes into the ride, and Pam wakes up and asks where Winter was, and I said, in NYC. She back there. She was like, what you mean? And she checked her phone, I guess to Winter blowing her up, saying I left her and beat her up. Pam was like, why would you do that? Saying I was weird and she was just drunk. I should have let her be. I ignored her and said, I can let you out and you can find your way back to go get her, but I'm going home. She was still drunk and was just complaining about how it was all messed up. Another 20 minutes, I dropped her off at her crib. I asked her for Winter's full name, and she was like, I'm not giving it to you because that was weird. And saying, why would I leave a drunk girl stranded? Oh, well. Oh, well. She should have thought about that. We ain't talked for the rest of the weekend. So that Monday came, and I canceled all my morning appointments to pull up at their job. They both were there, and I asked for the manager. Winter had a black eye and a swelled lip. Oh, well. And y'all, I'm not saying oh, well. Gina is literally typing out oh, well. This older lady went and got their manager. Neither of them were saying anything. I asked for Winter's full name, and she gave it to me, no problems. As soon as I left, Pam hit me up and said Winter wasn't paying for anything, and I said, that's fine. I'll be taking her to court. Play with somebody else. Find you something safe to do. And she said Winter was going to press charges on me for her face, and I was like, good luck with that. So I did end up pressing charges for my car, and the estimate was like $1,100 in damage. I drive a 2022 Lexus RX, and I was not paying that. Well, I don't know what a Lexus RX is, but a Lexus is a Lexus, right? We ended up going to court like 3 months ago, and the judge ruled in my favor. She's currently on a payment plan to pay me the full balance of the damages. Pam cut me off, and we have not spoken since the judge ruled in my favor, and she never pressed charges for me beating her up. So yeah, girl, I know this was probably longer than the other ones you have read. I'm still in Jersey about to get a new crib, but business is doing well, and I actually became really close to one of my clients who does nails. So we have a lot in common. It was crazy how things ended with Pam, but I guess you just outgrow people. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Tell me what you think. Yo, that was a lot. That was a lot. Like I said, I felt like you were way too nice from beginning to end. Pam was already showing you signs that she wasn't your friend. And I know, like you said, it was her birthday, so you wanted to show up, but she didn't show up for you. Like I said, maybe that's the petty in me, but sometimes you really got to take people at face value and really take them for what they're showing you when they're showing it to you. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, you definitely outgrow people. I had friends that I was friends with in elementary, middle school, friends for 15, 20 years, and you outgrow. You live in a different life, a different path, you into different things, and you treat your friends differently than how I would. So after a while, you just start to realize, like, yeah, this is not for me, and it's okay to cut friends off. But in Pam's case, she was rocking for winter, rocking and rolling for winter. She didn't even care about you anymore. So I think you did the right thing. And a lot of people, I feel like, would have just turned the other cheek. I'm just like, oh, well, it is what it is. I'll just pay it. No, I'm so happy that you took that girl to court. People really need to stop playing and find them something safe to do. Who told you to get in my driver's seat? I'm really glad she got her ass whooped. That would teach her. And maybe after her getting her ass whooped, that's why she decided that she wasn't going to press charges on you. Because what? But yeah, that was story number 1. So we have another one. So let me go to that one, y'all. And we're going to get into this story. This one is titled, I Know I Was Wrong. So let's see. Not everybody likes to take accountability, so I'm excited to read this one. Hey girl, you can call me Gem, another G. And I'm 26. This story is really recent, but I wanted to tell it anyway. Before I even start, I 100% know I was in the wrong, and I'm not denying that. I'm from Arizona, but I live in Utah now. I know you were mentioning how you visited out here and had family out here, so I was like, let me send in my story. Okay, girl. I don't know what's in Utah, y'all. Ain't nothing out there, but let's get into it. Okay, so about 8 months ago, I had got out of a toxic situationship with this guy I was dealing with on and off for like 2 years. He's from Arizona, and things worked kind of while I was living there, but he decided to end things out of nowhere. I was devastated. This was a month after I had moved. Now, being a girl, you know we do our research. So I went stalking through every piece of social media this man had. I really did think he was the one and that he just needed time to commit. Stupid me. I just knew it had to be another girl involved. I asked him why, and he said we wanted 2 different things and that he was tired of wasting my time. You wasted my time for 2 years, so now you're tired of wasting my time? I didn't understand how he thought 2 years wasn't a long time. Like, hello. Niggas kill me, y'all. I don't know. I don't have Twitter, but he does. And that is where I found everything that made this sudden breakup make sense. He had a girlfriend, and from the tweets and pictures I saw, he had been with her for about a year. Long distance. The thing is, she didn't live in AZ, but from the stalking I did, I found out she was planning on moving there, and I guess he didn't want to be caught up with living a double life. I should have let it go, but I didn't. I couldn't. How could I? I get we weren't in a relationship, but 2 years? Nah, I couldn't let it slide. Me neither. I don't know what I would have did, but I don't know. Y'all, comment down below. Have y'all ever been with somebody and then you find out that they've been in a relationship for like a year, 2 years, 3 years? Like, let me know. I went down a deep rabbit hole to find this girl's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everything. I finally came across her Instagram and I DM'd her. I sent her the screenshots, pictures, videos, everything I had of me and him. It felt good. I felt like that was the girl's girl thing to do. However, she didn't see it that way. I was just about to say, not everybody looks at it that way. You know, sometimes you try to come to somebody, woman to woman, they don't be trying to hear that. They be like, that's my man and I'm going to stick beside him. But, yeah. She responded back to me after like 3 hours and said she didn't care and she was already planning on moving in with him and to not hit her up anymore. I felt stupid and wish I didn't say anything. It didn't take long for him to hit me up and go off. I mean, girl, he called me so many things that I won't even put in here because I know you can't say them in the video. Oh, girl, he aired you out. He read you for filth because, I mean, I'm not going to say I don't get where you're coming from, but sometimes it's okay to just take your L. You had already moved. You know, I get that it hurts, but now you even more hurt because that girl don't even care. Ugh. I asked him why he would leave me on like this. He read my message and next thing you know, I was blocked on everything. She blocked me too. I was hurt. I let about a month or so go by and I started lurking on my fake page. They were living together and looked happy. I was jealous, not gonna lie. I can honestly say that turned me into a savage. Happens to the best of us. That's all I'm gonna say. I let it go since I moved from Arizona anyway and decided to just go on with my life. I decided to get on the dating app Hinge. Y'all going to get enough of these dating apps. Y'all are going to get enough of these dating apps. I met this new guy and he lived in Utah. So I was like, okay, cool. This is a nice distraction. We can call him Frank. Frank is 37 and had moved here from Boise, Idaho. 37. How old are you? He's 37 and you're 26. Okay. You like him older? Okay. Okay. His profile seemed normal enough, and I don't usually date older, but at this point, I was down for whatever. He responded to a prompt and then messaged me. We started texting about a week or so before he asked me for my number. Frank was sweet, older, fine, and had a good job, which is why he had to move from Idaho. The more we talked, it didn't feel like just a distraction anymore. I actually liked him. We were FaceTiming, texting, sending each other funny videos and memes all day. I was falling for Frank. And his age didn't even matter to me. After about 3 weeks, he finally asked me out and I agreed. He ended up making reservations for this restaurant in Salt Lake that I had heard about but hadn't gotten around to going. I was excited and nervous at the same time. He pulled up in a nice-ass car. I don't know the specifics, but I believe it was a BMW or a Benz. Don't judge me. I just know it was a nice car. Girl, I don't know nothing about cars. I don't know nothing about cars. I got in and he broke the ice immediately. We were laughing and acting funny with each other like we had already been doing over the phone for the last few weeks. I lived about 20 minutes from the restaurant, so it was a nice ride of us just talking and getting to know each other. Just when I thought everything was going well, he gets a call that pops up on his car screen. It wasn't a name, just a purple heart emoji. He clicked ignore, and I didn't even bring it up. I didn't care. I guess you didn't care because you probably already realized like you probably weren't in the right headspace to get played again. So I get it. We get to the restaurant and everything goes well. I definitely had too much to drink and wasn't trying to go home. So almost like he was reading my mind, he asked me if I wanted to go back to his place. I agreed, of course. He lived only like 10 minutes away. So we pulled up to his place. He lived in a condo, and once I got inside, it looked like a typical man's apartment, but it was nice. Frank showed me where the bathroom was, and I said to make myself at home. I went to the bathroom and started looking around at his medicine cabinet. I don't know why we do this. Yo, why do we do this? Because I swear to God, well, obviously not now, but back in the day when I was like going out, going to a nigga's apartment for the first time, I'd definitely be in that medicine cabinet. I need to know what's going on. I need to know if you treating something. I need to know. I need to know. It's just funny that we all be living the same life. Well, kind of. I didn't find anything that stood out, so that was a good sign. I came out the bathroom and he is sitting on the couch with 2 wine coolers and asked me if I was done drinking for the night. I said no and sat next to him on the couch. He put on Just Right with Queen Latifah and Common. I love that movie. I love that movie. And we just started talking and vibing. So, of course, one thing turned to 2, which turned to 3. And next thing you know, I was on top of him without a shirt on. Certain parts are a blur because, like I said, I was drunk as a skunk, but he didn't mind. I bet he didn't. All I remember was him picking me up and carrying me to the bedroom. Okay, hold on, y'all. He laid me on the bed and yeah, things got heated quickly. It was a time. The thing is, though, we didn't use any protection, girl. Something told me to tell him to get a plan B, but I just didn't. I don't know why. If he was okay with it, who was out of question, right? No. It don't matter if he's okay with it. You have protection. You protect yourself. Always. Always. I spent the night and the next morning he said he had business to take care of and he was going to take me home. But he definitely enjoyed the night and wanted to go out again. I got myself together and he dropped me off at home. I can't help it, clearly, but I started my toxic lurking again because after that night, now I wanted to know who Purple Heart was. You said you didn't care. You could have asked him right there as soon as that call popped up. Oh, who that? Because I would have. Who that? Girl, I checked Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, but he had no evidence of anything. Weird. Instagram was full of pics of him and his job, his car, the usual, but not a woman in sight. So I thought everything was fine. I called my best friend and was telling her how the night went, and she gave me the bright idea to check Facebook since he was an old head. That's smart. That's smart. Nobody thinks, I feel like millennials, Gen Z, we don't think to check Facebook for anything. I feel like you said our go-tos are Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, but not Facebook. I feel like I use Facebook just for like my family and stuff, I instantly regretted it. I checked his Facebook and I wasn't prepared for what I saw. Right there on his header was a picture of him, a woman, and 3 children. Oh, he's a family man. Yeah. I get to scrolling and he was a whole family man. I'm sorry, y'all. I be calling it. I found the wife's Facebook and thought about telling her, but decided against it after what happened the last time, right? Because now this is somebody's marriage, right? I called him and my call went to voicemail. He texted me right after and said he was busy and to just text him. I asked him flat out, like, do you have kids? And are you married? He read my message because I could see the bubbles pop up. Then they just disappeared. Girl, why did 5 hours go by? And this whole time I was mentally crashing out. He finally calls me and says, yes, I am married, but we are going through a rough patch. We are trying to remain cordial because of the kids. I asked him, why didn't he tell me he was married? And he goes, you never asked. Don't ask, don't tell. That's why you always protect yourself. Because these niggas is going to play. It don't matter if they old, young, skinny, short, fat. It doesn't matter. They always going to play. What you mean, don't ask, don't tell? Why are you on a dating app, sir? Like, what? Asked him why he doesn't live with them and if they were in Boise or out here with him. And he said they were out here too. He bought a house and that is where they live. And he uses his condo for his own personal needs. Girl, I was sick to my stomach, as am I. He said he really liked me and wanted to continue things as long as I wanted to. Part of me just wanted to walk away, but I didn't. I didn't care and I liked him, so I wanted to see it through. So you was willingly dealing with a married man? Now I see why you said that you know that what you was doing was wrong. Because, girl, that's so wrong. That's so wrong. So for another few weeks, like recently, we've been still seeing each other, meeting for drinks or meeting at his condo. As long as his wife didn't know about me, I didn't care. But things went left about a month ago when I found out I was pregnant. Huh? Girl, what? I made the mistake and invited him over to my place so I could tell him in person. Girl, why didn't you talk to your best friends, your parents? You know, you gotta have... So do you live out there by yourself? Like, I need more details because I'm so confused. Frank got here and was excited to see me and lay up. But I decided to just rip the Band-Aid off and I said, I'm pregnant. Just like that. The look on his face sent chills down my spine. It was almost like he wanted to unalive me. She didn't say that, but I am. Unalive me. He went silent and was just staring at me. I asked him if he was okay, and he said I was lying. I showed him the 2 tests I had taken, and he said they could be fake. I had extra ones, so I told him we could take one now, and he agreed. This man watched me pee on the stick, and of course it was positive. I was pregnant. He said he didn't care and he would give me money to take care of it. I told him no and that I was going to keep it. Why? Why do y'all do that? Why do y'all do that? This man is married. Y'all had some fun. You found out about the wife. You still wanted to run around with him having an affair. Then cool. But you were still sleeping with him unprotected after you found out that he had a wife. Girl, what? Okay, I told him no and that I was going to keep it. He said that was my choice, but not to expect anything from him because he told me he didn't want a kid with me. He already had kids and couldn't risk his wife finding out. I said, I thought y'all were just cordial for the kids, and he called me stupid and said, you are crazier than I thought if you honestly thought I was going to leave my wife. He left and slammed my door. Girl, go to the clinic. Go, girl, please. What are you... I'm trying to really understand the logic, y'all. Y'all got to help me in the comments to understand the logic because it's not... The math is not mathing. I wasn't going out sad again, so this time I decided he was going to be active whether he liked it or not. When I first found out I was pregnant, I was 5 weeks at that point. I went to the doctor after Frank was ignoring me. I got the ultrasound pictures, and yes, girl, I sent them to Frank's wife on Facebook. You ain't learned your lesson. You ain't learned your lesson. Okay. She responded almost immediately and asked me for my number. So I gave it to her, and she asked me for more of my story. So I tell her how I met her husband on a dating app, about his secret condo, and that we've been sleeping with each other for a while without protection, and now I was pregnant. She had a totally different reaction than the girl before. She said, thank you for letting me know. This was all I needed. And then we got off the phone. Literally radio silence for 2 days. Next thing you know, Frank was at my door, almost trying to kick it in, and I was on a Zoom call for work. I muted the Zoom and went to answer the door. He pushed his way in, screaming and yelling. Girl, I was scared as... I'm trying to really understand your logic. Y'all, I know I keep saying that, but you're literally willingly putting yourself in this situation. He told you he didn't want the baby. He told you he didn't want his wife finding out. Then you hit up the wife. And then she tells you, oh, thanks, this is all I needed. She about to take that man to the cleaners. She probably already suspected that he was cheating, but now she has, like, the actual proof. Yeah, she can definitely file for divorce. Like, girl, what? And he don't want to... What you mean he's going to be active whether he... This is not going to make him want to be even more active. Why do y'all think having a baby is going to change a man's mind? I don't get it. And it's never good to build your foundation off of another woman's tears. Ever. Even if she wasn't crying. What are you doing? You're dealing with a man who was willing to have an affair on his wife, who he has 3 children with, who he moved from Boise out there with him, put her in a house. You thought that was going to be you? Girl, I don't know. I told him to calm down, and he was just yelling, saying how I ruined his life, that I should have just played my role. Yes, you should have. And now his wife is divorcing him and taking him for everything he has. I didn't understand what that had to do with me. I said, I'm sorry about that, but my baby deserves a father. He walked over to my laptop and slammed it on the ground, breaking it. He walked out, slammed the door at that point. I was in shock. I don't know why. First of all, why you even open the door? If he was trying to kick your door, and I would have called the cops. Why? What do you mean you just went to open the door? I tried calling him and texting him. He didn't answer for days. I decided to go over to his condo, but got no answer. I didn't know what to do, but I looked at my pregnancy as a blessing in disguise. I finally found someone to love me unconditionally. I kept my pregnancy, and I'm still pregnant now. It's been a while since I heard from Frank, but I hope he comes around soon. Either way, I'm going to get him on child support. How? How are you getting him on child support if he don't want nothing to do with you and he not going to sign a birth certificate? How are you getting him on child support? Y'all, I don't have kids. I really don't know how it works, and I know it's different for every state, so... Obviously, y'all probably like, well, your family live in Utah. Shouldn't you know? I don't know. If you live out west, let me know what the child support laws are, because how can you get somebody on child support if they're not on a birth certificate? I don't get it. If I have an update, I'll make sure to send you that, but I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't go hard on me. Signed, Jem. Girl, that one was a little bit crazier than the last one. The other girl, Gina, stood on business when it came to Winter and Pam. I don't know. I'm not going to say, like, of course, congrats on your pregnancy. If that's what you want and you're happy with it, then by all means. But just really think about what you're getting yourself into and what you're, having that baby come into. I'm pretty sure now it's obviously too late for you to do anything about it. But you really got to be prepared for what that looks like. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, y'all, that was officially episode 1 of... whatever we're going to name this series. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Continue to keep sending me your stories, emailing me. I love reading them. And y'all be having some crazy lives. Y'all be having crazier lives than me. And I be thinking my story times are a little crazy. But yeah, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed it. And I will see y'all in my next video. Peace.